What's happening? This is Deacon D.A.S, DeaconD.A.S.com, otherworldly, Cincinnati's boy, the city's pride and joy. You are tuned in to Barry's Poetic Session. Coming right at you.
And welcome back to Barry's Poetic Session. I'm your host, Barry, aka The Dark Knight. And we've got in the studio my co-host, L.I.F.E, Living Inspiration Forever, guided by the light of Jesus Christ. And you don't stop. What's up?
You gotta say the whole name. That's right. What's up, baby? Listen. I don't know what's going on today. It's like we got President Obama in the house or something. We got 100 cameras in this mug and ain't none of them work. But anyway, we're gonna get the commercials out of the way.
Real quick.
Multicultural Fest. My church, the Shepherd's Heart Christian Fellowship Ministry, is having a Multicultural Fest September the 12th. Bring your kids. It's going to be outside where Save a Lot is, 2427 Harrison Avenue. We have a big show stage. And my man right here, Deacon D.A.S, is going to be in the building. Actually, we'll be outside by Save a Lot, where Christ is going to save a lot. Hey! But anyway, that's September the 12th. And we get down like that.
The introduction.
It's free.
Right.
And free food. So I know you'll be there.
Hey, is there going to be pizza? Guaranteed.
I know you're going to be there. So that's what's going on. Just tell your kids about it. It's free. We're going to have animals and different vendors and stuff like that. So that's what's popping. And we're ready for to get it in. Get it in today.
Happy birthday to Obama, President Obama.
Is that 50?
Man.
54. Right.
54?
54.
Man, he's doing it up.
50.
And today we've got our special guest doing it up today. He first did Losing My Religion, then Triumphant, and now Otherworldly is the new Christian rapper's latest CD coming to you live. We've got Deacon D.A.S in the studio.
In the building.
What's up? Good to see
Hey,
you.
first of all, man.
Welcome back.
Y'all get a shot of that, my man, Deacon D.A.S. One of my favorites.
Man, you look like you used that one.
I stabbed this CD so much I kept playing it, man. You are one of my favorite artists, real talk, man. And before we get in, tell the people a little bit about yourself, real quick.
Deacon D.A.S, Christian rapper, speaker, engineer here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Been doing it 10 years now. God is good, God is great, God is awesome to bless me with another project for your listening pleasure. Man, it's a testimony.
That's what's happening, man.
Testimony. So.
And he's dope. He's dope. He could put some pieces together and lay it down. You know what I'm saying? So
No doubt.
One of my favorite. I wouldn't say this. He's one of my favorite artists. Now, you know, he was on our last show. When we had our last show at Media Bridges, he came in the building. He don't know what we're gonna ask him. We asked him what was his top 5 MCs did alive last time, but guess what? He don't know what I'm about to ask him right now. What is your top 5 songs of all time?
Songs?
Songs.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
This is pressure, man. You got so many
That's what we do. That's what we do. Only 5 songs.
Right.
That
In no particular order.
Right. Only 5 songs. What is your best 5 songs that inspire Deacon D.A.S?
What do I think are the best 5 songs of all time, or my personal favorite?
Your personal favorite.
Your personal.
Man, you put me on blast, man.
Yeah. People want to know, man.
You heard it over and over again. Never gets tired.
Or if I go to Selfish and talk about money.
It don't matter.
That's what's
It's your variety,
opinion.
your 5.
All right. Let's see. My favorite songs all time.
Of all time. Like if you was on a secluded island, these are the only 5 songs that you
You gonna make us take a break and come back with your 5 songs.
We're gonna take a break. Barry, take us out, man.
We'll be right back with Barry's Poetic Session. You. And welcome back to Barry's Poetic Session with our special guest, Deacon D.A.S, with his top 5 songs of all time. Go.
I'm about to cop out and do it this way. Top 5 favorite songs. I'm gonna start the list with Deacon D.A.S. Losing My Religion.
Oh.
Single. Start the list with that. We're gonna go with Deacon D.A.S. Give It Over. That's number 2 on the list. We're gonna go with number 4, Deacon D.A.S. Tetelestai. Put that on the list. We're gonna go with, how many is that?
3.
That's 3. So number 4, we're gonna go with A Star Is Born, Deacon D.A.S. And number 5, rounding off the top 5 would be Deacon D.A.S. And Steps of the Just, Spirit of Fear.
Wow. And there you have it, folks. It took the whole show, but we got it. And
well, I mean, your number 2 song, Give It Over. Let's talk a little bit about that, because you got a video to a couple of your songs, and this one's got a video too.
Yes, Give It Over. One of the songs I recorded for the new project, Otherworldly. Give It Over, featuring Stephen Say, one of the up-and-coming artists here in Cincinnati, Ohio, making major moves in the kingdom, and Jakari. Jakari is a talent. If she can realize her potential, man, she got star written all over her, has the name, man, has the voice, and man. So got a song with those 2, produced by Dove Award nominee Tony Stone. Tony Stone's worked with great Christian artists in the past, some of the most well-known Christian artists from Lecrae, K-Drama, The Truth, Flame, Shylin.
Wow.
He's worked with all these artists, producing
heavy hitters.
and having him do a majority of the production on this album, including this song, Give It Over. I think it's one of my best songs. And I don't say it lightly, man. I like a lot of my songs.
We didn't know that.
I like a lot of my songs. It's one of my favorite. I think that it ministers, so it has that real life feel to it, and it's dope. Like it's dope, in my opinion. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it is dope. But let's take care of this first of all. You got videos. And your boy is not in any video. You know I act, right? You know I do a little acting. You know all that, right? Hold on, man.
Hold on. Did you ask him on the last show?
Man.
See, there you go.
So what you saying is, did he say yes? And I can put that video to put it on YouTube.
We're gonna have to check
that
the tape.
I wasn't in his video.
We're gonna have to check the tape.
I wasn't in his video, but he's always on our show. You know what I mean? But I gotta give you a shout out. One, it's mixtapes. You put the Barry's Poetic Session. I'm on there. So, man, so hey, we definitely want to ask you this. We want to analyze this album right here, Otherworldly. But first, let's go back on your birthday. How I got this? I had to come and get this CD because I'm a person. I don't buy stuff online and nothing like that. I want to have this in my hand.
You think he gonna get hacked by
I know it ain't. No, I need to have
computer
this.
crash.
So let's talk about, on your birthday bash, you had a concert that was off the chain. So tell us how that went down.
So I was planning on releasing the album Otherworldly back in March. That was my initial target date, to have everything done by March. And it got to March, and everything was just about done. It was done for the most part. What I have now is what pretty much was done in March. But I was like, man, what's the best way to really push this here locally? Because I got a little national buzz, but sometimes it's hard to get people to come out and do stuff as far as an event, like moving a CD or selling a CD here and there online. little easier. People ain't got to really do nothing. You sit in front of your computer, you go on your cell phone, hit Google Play. But trying to have an event, what's the best way to market an event and bring people together? A lot of people I connect with and know personally as far as artists, pastors, youth directors, and different things in the city. So I think like, man, my birthday coming up, this is going to be a big deal. I'm turning 30, y'all, 30. So I was like, man, I'm turning 30, so what can I do to incorporate putting an event together? I never had like a birthday party or nothing like that. So like, man, I'm 30. Let's do it. Let's have a birthday, and I'll push the album back to release it with that and make it an incentive to come out. Re-releasing the album and celebrating the birthday party. So bring everybody out. And you came and you copped the CD. You look like you used it.
I was in the building.
It ain't still in the plastic, look used.
I support you, man, because we go way back. But I do want to talk about the album. Let's talk about the album, because when I got it, I was like, wait a minute. I had to listen to it a couple times. I was like, what is he doing? The beats was crazy. I called you about the charm, but we ain't gonna get on that right now. Because the first thing I called you, I was like, oh man, me and my brother-in-law was coming out of church, and I played. I text you like, man, this is my song right here. So, where is it at? Come Alive. That beat and everything was just fitting together. So how did that come about? That was my favorite song at that time.
Yeah, at
that time.
Come Alive, man, I remember, man, I was sitting at work, man, and the hook just came to me. I had the beat for a while.
Wow.
And I never thought to marry the beat and the hook. A couple songs came like that where I had the production for the album close to a year before.
Wow. Really?
Before a lot of stuff. Most of the songs close to a year before I put it together. So yeah, I was planning on putting everything out in March. I think I bought most of the production the previous March and summer into the summer last year. So a lot of stuff I worked on. But Come Alive, that hook came to me, and it was different. That's a modified version of the hook, and I think it worked out better. I wrote the hook, had everything down, and my boy Papa Don, you probably remember him as J Rain here in the city. Did some stuff with Exiles, and he's pretty popular. He moved to Chicago now. He's on the West Coast, the left coast out in L.A., in the Valley, doing music and doing some acting. Cutting his chops on some Lifetime movies and stuff like that. I think he was in the Whitney Houston biopic. He was in a Whitney Houston biopic. But he came back to the city for a couple nights, and I had the hook, and I was like, man, I'm gonna put it to this beat. Called him over. He came through 2 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
In the middle of the week.
Dedication.
Came through 2 o'clock in the morning. I wake up. Shoot, my wife trying to go to sleep. We gonna be in the studio. Whoa. You in town right now? We getting this done. So he come through in a major way. Laid the hook. I went over him what I had, and he was like, man, well, we could cut this out and cut this out. It's dope, but we can make it a little more simple. Let's simplify it, make it simple, more catchy. And we did that, and I think it turned out pretty dope. He put his crooning in there, got the little Mike flavor. You like Mike, that's probably why.
Yeah.
You like his harmonies in the background. So it's dope. I think it came together great. And right after that, then I was like, okay, I kind of got an idea where I want to go with the verses. But once he laid the hook, the verses just came, okay, we go.
And that was my dope song. That was my favorite song at that time, when I first got the CD. And I text you, right? If y'all just tuning in, we got Deacon D.A.S in the building. He was in our studio when we ended this show there at Media Bridges. He's back in the building with a new CD. Now, we just talked about Come Alive. We're going through the CD. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this is the most important song on the CD, my opinion. Oh, I'm hitting the mic, I'm sorry. In my opinion, is Right or Wrong.
Right or Wrong.
And when I listened to this, I was like, man, because there's a lot of people got metaphors and can spit or whatever. You got that, but you're saying something so profound in this time and day. I want you to explain it. Because when I listen to Right or Wrong, you coming in talking about this dude talking about why is no God, and then you come back and tell him what you. It's dope. You tell me. We talking about right now the song.
No, you
Right
talk
or
to me.
wrong.
You talk to me.
Right or wrong.
Tell me about it.
Right or wrong.
I like hearing you talk.
When I put this in, man, because like I said, Come Alive was my song. My brother-in-law would tell you, I just kept playing that over and over and over. I got sick of it. So when I got down to Right or Wrong, it comes on saying this guy's telling you about you believe in this person, this guy you never seen and all this and like this, and you get into it. It's like no more, it's not. I like to visualize stuff. So I can see the video, I can see everything y'all having this conversation. And he's just going and you thinking, actually it reminds me of the OJ trial. If anybody heard the OJ trial, you would watch the trial and the other lawyers you'd be like, OJ did it. Then his lawyers would come to Dream Team, and you'd be like, OJ didn't do that. That's how this song was. And I'm a believer. Like, it was like, dude was saying, like, why is no God? And this and that. You believe in this. And then you came back, like, and just wiped it up. Like, that was beautiful. And I think a lot of people need to hear this song. That's the most important song on this CD. What made you do that?
He got you.
Yeah, what made me do it? I think it's in my heart. Like I have a heart for apologetics outside of music, and I try to fuse different lines here, maybe a verse here or whatever, kind of affirming my belief and sharing what I believe as far as my doctrines and creed and the Christian faith. But in that song, I was inspired. I had the hook for a while. Another one of those songs I had for hooks for a long time. I had that hook for years and never thought to marry that with the beat. I had the beat for about a year and a half, and I never thought to marry the two. And then I was just sitting vibing with the beat, and I just started rapping, saying the hook or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's it. I'm gonna make them work. I don't know how it's gonna work, but I'm gonna marry these two. And it came together beautifully, in my opinion. The hook and the beat and the verses was inspired by, man, there's a guy I used to work with. I won't say his name. He knows who he is. But he's an atheist. And I think he sharpened my faith more than anybody, any Christian I ever
Wow.
knew, any pastor, any other religious leader, any teacher. He sharpened my faith more than any of them, because I remember coming to work and having debates with him. It's like, man, why you believe this? Because they found this on Mars, or this is here, or God, you can't see God, or whatever. And having these discussions with him and going home, like, man, all right, I got to study.
Right.
I got to know what I'm talking about. And I was a young Christian at the time. So it's like, man, I believe in this. I believe it in my heart. But I also believe that God is a God of logic and reason. So God could be understood with logic and reason. Not just, oh, we're going to understand by and by. But God is the most intellectual being we can know. Right. So he can be understood intellectually. So it's like, man, how can I combat what he's saying with real grounded facts and stuff? Right. So it had me debating with him kind of on a routine level. Like, he'd bring up this point, like, okay, well, this is my answer to this. Right. And he'd bring up this point, well, here's my answer to that.
Like when you say that part, when he says there's no God, you can't see, and he said you say you walk off a cliff, you can't see gravity. Yeah, you and then you see the effects of the wind, you know what I mean? So
yeah, and a lot of it's rebuttaling that and putting it into a lyric. Making it lyrical was
It's brilliant. It's very smart how you did that. That's awesome. I love that. And I think that's the most important song, in my opinion.
It might be actually one of the most important songs I've ever done for our culture now.
Exactly.
Like the culture as a whole. I think I've done more important songs for Christians, like for the Christian, losing my religion.
Right.
Like if you're a Christian with a Pharisaic mindset, that may be the song for you, the most important song you can hear. But for like a culture as a whole, knowing a belief in God that seems to be almost, I don't know, it seems like we holding it up in a bag with holes in it. Like it seems to be leaking, and people don't know how to defend their faith, don't know exactly what they believe, and just making it real. Like there's real life stuff in it throughout the bars. Like man, people suffering. Like how we deal with this. People going through this. How we deal with this. And it's a 5.5 minute long song. But it don't feel like that.
It don't. It got me. I was like amazed with it. Like, okay, this is good because it's dope, but it's very profound too at the same time. It ain't nothing like on the surface. You got to go beyond that. Or what y'all talking about? I'm in the middle of y'all conversation. Like, I want to play this to all atheists, you know what I mean? Because they're going to be, at the first come on, they're going to be smiling like, and then you come back. Like I said, it was like the OJ trial. You know what I'm saying?
And I wanted to also give their point justice too.
Right.
And not like sugarcoat it, like have what they complain to be about.
Right.
Like this, they have legitimate, like, man, how can you believe in God? Nobody ever seen God, or you ain't see God, or whatever. Or why God let suffering happen in the world. Like, this stuff they would ask you.
Right.
Like, can you do a song and share their viewpoint and not share, like, real life stuff they ask you about if y'all sitting one-on-one. So, making it broad, not making it about this specific person, but overall, like, thought pattern of an unbeliever.
Right.
Like, not a believer that believes in some other religion or this religion, but the person that don't believe in no God at all.
Right.
Like, for whatever reasons, and really dealing with that intellectually and dealing with the hurt and pointing to the cross and that. So.
Right. So, man, I just want to thank you, man, just for being that Bible for the people who never go to church. And we have to become the Bible that people would never read, you know what I mean? So every time I see you doing something, no matter what I'm doing or whatever, I'm trying to make it to your show because you're one of my favorite artists, and I always support you. And we want to get into the video, so let's set up to the...
Well, let's take me back to what we're coming up next, and that's Take Me Back video, Deacon D.A.S, and we'll be right back after this. Barry's Poetic Session.
Genesis, the fan in the window, AC wasn't fixed, chilling in the crib. This is what we did, the Fresh Prince intro. Do you remember this? When Ewing was a Knick, we all rooted for the Bulls like Mike. But who was cooler than Mitch? I reminisce before Hogan pulled the switch to Hollywood and Barry Sanders called it quits. I'm shooting from the hip. OJ's car chase, Rodney King got paid, sneaking in my mom's purse, taking quarters for the arcade. First love heartbreaks, it's hard to forget. The church, it was a fun place, I got to admit. Growing up in the hood, Lord, you were there working all things out. So I look at my past, you see it wasn't all good, but it wasn't all bad. As I reflect on the times we had, man, it takes me back.
You take me back to my life when I didn't know you. You take me back to when I found out your word was so true. You take me back to my life when I didn't know you.
trying to get them papers on the block with them packs, packing them pistols. We was chasing after women when we wasn't chasing figures. Used to lie like I hit it when I didn't. Forgive me, let me get this out my system. King was my man, but I had a thing for his sister. I remember when me and Lo got robbed at gunpoint, selling, so I quit it. Started rapping in my mama's basement like Tigger before my bro got locked up and Keem got shot up. We didn't have a babysitter, television watched us. Saw Pookie get rocked up in New Jack City, and Dashiki got knocked up. And don't be a menace, yeah, I smoked, but I didn't inhale. Clinton in school suspension, being sent to detention. That's when I wasn't skipping. As I sit here flipping through these pictures, reminiscing, man, it takes me back.
You take me back to my life when I didn't know you. You take me back to when I found out your word was so true. You take me back to my life when I didn't know you. You take me back to when I found out your word was so true.
And welcome back to Barry's Poetic Session with Deacon D.A.S. You just saw the video, Take Me Back. How did that come about?
Take Me Back. It was one of those beats I heard, and it just makes you reflect. Sometimes you hear instrumental, or you may hear jazz or some kind, and the beat just takes you to a place, and that just put me in the mind state of my childhood, even before writing any lyrics or anything like that. Just the beat and production was like, man, that take me back.
Right.
And it's like, wow, that's where we going. It took me back. So Take Me Back to more a reflective joint, talking about the past, my personal past, and the past of every, most people in my generation growing up throughout the 90s and the early 2000s, the different things that we witnessed and that were popular in the world and the U.S. and the different struggles that a lot of people dealt with individually. Take Me Back. It's on my project Through the Dust. It's a free promotional project that's available on the website deacondas.com, DEACONDAS, deacondas.com. So you can get that song, songs like the Telestai and others for free on the website.
That's what's up. So if y'all just tuning in, Deacon D.A.S is in the building. This is my cat right here, one of my favorite Christian rappers right now, is doing it big. Oh man. So we analyzing his new album, his new CD, Otherworldly, Deacon D.A.S. First of all, man, you the bomb.com with the CD covers. Like, whoever does this. My brother-in-law, he did my CD cover. I was like, man, how can we get our stuff like this? How we can get popping like that? Who did this?
I gotta give a shout out to Larissa Leeper from Day One Creations. She is amazing. She has done like 90% of my graphic work and art design. She did the website. She also did work for The Truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did album cover for The Truth. Does work for Clearsight, which is Flame's label.
Okay.
Rep the King magazine and different things like that. So she is talented and she is amazing and she is always busy. So it's kind of, but she is, like, in my opinion, probably the best doing it in or outside of the kingdom. And I love her to death. I love her to death.
So did you have a lot of input on how you wanted this to be, or you just let
her do it?
I let her do her, man. I learned early, like messing with her, like, man, this is the title. Like when she did Losing My Religion cover, this is the title, bam. It's like, she's like, okay, let's take a couple pictures. I told her I wanted to be close up. I did tell her that. I was like, I want to be close up because on most of my other covers, like my whole body on the my whole body on the cover. So I wanted to be closer. That's the only thing I told her, and she made it dope. She made it.
She did. That's outstanding. Now, if you're just
real quick, we saw "Just Take Me Back." How long did it take you to make that video?
Take me back.
We shot it. We shot it in over the course of about a week and a half. We did the main stuff in 2 days. And then there were some scenes we wanted to come and get right and redo. Shout out to Donnie, D-Mob. Y'all know D-Mob. D-Mob shot the video, edited the video.
Wow, okay.
And yeah, over the course of a week and a half or so, and then another 3 or 4 weeks for editing and putting it together. But it turned out pretty dope at the time. I think that was my first solo video I did for one of my individual songs. Did a lot of stuff for different artists where I'm featured on their music and then their videos. So that was my first one in about 2.5 years.
Well, we want to check out this video because we talked about the song earlier, and we would just want to give it over. Check out that video, and then we're going to come back, take a couple more questions about that, and we'll be right back.
Give it over.
Barry's Poetic Session. Check us out. We'll be right back.
Man, now how could I be so impulsive that I would get involved and ignore what I've been taught? Should've walked away from that pitfall. Should've been smart, would've went home, but I rushed into it like Limbaugh, just to lose what I didn't own, to add injuries to that insult. Sin is no different than investing with Madoff. It's a rip-off, expensive, and it's never really worth what it cost. It cost me my right hand when I missed that mark. I try to stand, but I just fall, get slapped around just like pinball. But I believe in a God who could restore, so I reach for him. In the midst of the storm, I rejoice, lifting my arms. Even though it gets hard, I know I can look to his cross. And though I got big problems, I serve a bigger God. And when I'm down to nothing, he's up to something that's real talk.
Letting go all my worries and cares. Carry the slow with the burdens up there. It's too heavy to hold on this weary road, and I just can't take it no more. So take control, so I give it over. I give it over to you. I give it over. I give it over to you. I give it over. I give it over to you. I give it over. I give it over to you.
right, stare at the empty skies. I try to be super, but this flesh is like kryptonite. How can I say that I live for Christ when I know inside that I'm not living right? Contrite, injured, trying to reach that finish line. As wicked as the night, crippled, my vision's blind. Tempted and enticed by the world and desensitized. It's like I minimize your word and can't put up a fight, when only your will can turn that fortune around like Vanna White. When it seems like that I miss my flight, you come right in the nick of time. I'm reminded that you got a hold on me and your grip is tight. Still in control, even when I can't get this right. It's when I'm down to nothing, you're up to something that's big in spite of me.
All my worries and cares, carry this load with the burdens I bear. It's taking too heavy to hold on this weary road, and I just can't take it no more. So take control, 'cause I give it over, over. I give it over to you. I give it over, over. I give it over to you. I give it over, over. I give it over to you. I give it over, over. I give it over to you.
And I don't know what you going through, but one thing that I know is true, is grace is God's to give, and it's not yours to lose. We're the precious gift, we're the precious jewel. It's not about what you've done, but what he did, what will you do? Cause though you feel lowly, broken pieces and hopeless too, I'm hoping you will put your hope in Jesus. Hold on to his word, see his yoke is easy and his burden's light. Purchased this at a price when no fees was overdue. Just know he's not far at all, in fact he's close to you, molding you. Just take a step back to see the whole view. He's working all things for the good of the chosen few, and when we're down to nothing, he's up to something that's beautiful.
All my worries and cares, carry this load with the burdens I bear. It's taking too heavy to hold on this weary road, and I just can't take it no more. So take control, 'cause I give it over, over. I give it over to you. I give it over, over. I give it over to you. I give it over, over. I give it over to you. I give it over, over. I give it over to you.
And welcome back to Barry's Poetic Session with our special guest, Deacon D.A.S, in the video, Give It Over. And how long did it take for this, Give It Over?
Man, it took months for this one.
Wow.
You had to put in some work, huh?
I had to put in some work. Now, we shot a lot of scenes for that didn't make it. And it's crazy because the video ended up being about 6 minutes long. The song was only 4 minutes long.
Right.
But we had a story that we wanted to tell, so we had to adjust some of the music in it to make it longer.
Oh,
To make sure if we got the point across, the message across that we were trying to get in it. So, and there's a lot of scenes of me that were cut out of it. So that the
He
story,
said me.
No.
Sound like me.
Yeah, sound like me. So that
They're
the
gonna
story,
cut me out of my own video.
so that the story would make sense, because the story was the most important.
Exactly.
Is the most important part of the video. So yeah, we shot that. That would have been in February, and we released it in April. So about 2 months. So we shot it over the course of 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
2 or 3 days, and it took about 2 months to edit. So.
We know about that, though. But anyway, so if y'all just tuning in, Deacon D.A.S is in the studio with us. He's one of my favorite artists, and he's a Christian rapper in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we talking about his new CD, Otherworldly. We didn't even ask you what otherworldly mean.
Otherworldly, I don't even know what it means. Nah, otherworldly, in this world but not of it. In this world
Good.
but not of it. Not
That's
of
what
this
I thought.
world. Yeah, that's the most basic. I meaning of it, of course, otherworldly, also transcendent.
Okay.
To be transcendent.
Don't be consumed too.
Yeah, to be transcendent and above. Somebody hit a jump shot, you hear Marv Albert or somebody go crazy. Oh, that was Kobe was otherworldly.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
be hating if you're a LeBron fan.
Oh yeah,
I
I'm a
say
Kobe. I'm a Lakers fan all day. But anyway,
Kobe.
yeah. Now,
We can't forget about your concerts that you wanted to bring up with Deacon D.A.S.
yeah. Well, we talked about that at the 86 Club when he did that.
You didn't say where?
With 86 Club, his 30th birthday bash, he talked about that. But if you are just tuning in, we're talking the good and bad about the CD. Now, you know I came at you with this song. I think you, so then Come Alive, and then Moon, and then The Charm. So this beat is crazy, like some like I was in New Orleans, voodoo.
The Charm, right?
The Charm.
That's what it's supposed to be.
So, and he told me, like, you know, it's a cautionary story. But if that was the first song that I heard, like, so explain it, because it was like, I was like, wait a minute, what is he? You're talking some voodoo crazy stuff. Like
Now,
so.
I wanted to. You hear the song yet, Barry?
I said, you don't know nothing about no hoodoo. That they were that's scary, man.
Yeah, The Charm. Everybody know The Charm. The Charm, like, I think it was a television show.
The Charm one.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's to do with witchcraft and that realm and different things like that. And I was like, man, no Christian artist had touched on this subject.
Right. And that's why I was
Not
like,
too many artists, period.
listen, when I heard this, I was like, the beat was crazy. It has you going like in it. Did he start talking this crazy stuff? I was like, wait a minute. I had to text you like, wait a minute, man. I love your CD, but what's up with this charm?
Are
thing?
you worshiping the devil?
Right. I was like, I don't understand this, man.
Nah, because I told the story in first person. Like, I've been practicing magic and I've been doing this and I've been doing this. I told it in the first person of someone who's being influenced by a friend to try this magic stuff.
Right.
So come and try this. It's harmless.
Right.
Man, nothing will happen from it. We just having fun, man. Magic is real, man. And we can help people or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so come on, let's just try it. And then they start getting consumed in it.
Right.
So I'm getting consumed in this stuff, and I think I'm controlling these demons or whatever.
Yeah.
Under my control, and before I know it, they controlling me. That's
Right.
the story. So it's
That sounds like a great movie. I should be in there. But
That
anyway,
movie's been playing.
okay.
yeah, but it deals with witchcraft.
Right.
Is the focal of the whole thing. But I told you, like, man, it's like an allegory. So yeah, it deals directly on the surface level with witchcraft, but also with any sin.
Yeah.
Like with any sin, it always looked like it's gonna be.
But did you see that movie? I'm not gonna say the big budget movie where the guy was like, you know, the character's name was Anakin. He wanted to have people live again and not die, and so he went to the dark side. Everybody knows the dark side, and that's similar to the same thing. And I'm not even gonna talk about my own personal scariness.
I don't know where you're going with this, but
No. Do you know the girl who was supposedly Catholic who wanted to join a Wiccan? And I was like, wait a minute. What?
Yeah. So really dealing with that stuff, because nobody talks about it.
Right.
Really, like people talk about it in private.
Right.
But it hadn't been talked about since Charles Manson back in the day.
Yeah.
But that's why you so dope, man. I don't think you know this. Because this day and time, people talking about, even Christian rappers are talking about stuff on the surface, or you know, in the secular world, they're talking about, you know, glorifying money and this and this and this, and you went a little deep, like all this, like it captivated me. Like I didn't see this like as a movie or whatever, so I'm into this. Like, wait a minute.
But first you was like, man, I don't get what you're talking about.
That's
man.
why I had to text you, like, and I had
Yeah.
to read it. I had to
But
go over. Like,
one thing I did do that in a lot of the songs and all the songs on there, except for maybe Right or Wrong, a lot of songs on there were at the beginning of a lot of songs, at the end of a lot of songs, you hear artists say, yeah, this song goes out to so and so or so and so or whoever in the struggle or whatever, and kind of tell you what the song is about.
Right.
Like, this is what the song
This is
means.
about- right.
This is how
Right.
you should interpret this song. When I finished a lot of songs, I had that part in a lot of the songs and took it out. Like, I'm not gonna tell you what I meant by this.
Right.
I want you to hear it,
Yes. Yes.
and what it means to you when you hear it. That's what you'll get from it.
Right.
So I won't direct you on how you should interpret this. Man, put your interpretation to it. I think you come with your lenses. If they foggy, you might see it the wrong way.
Right.
If they rose color, you might see it the wrong way,
Right.
the other way.
Right.
But if you come clear sight, clear vision, man, it's gonna make a lot of sense to you. Like, so I'm not gonna explain it to you. Like Jesus and his parents. Now you my boy. Like, so you can hit me up and I can tell you what this was about. Like, this is what I meant by that.
Right.
Like, just like the disciples came to Jesus, like, man, what you mean when you said, man, these seeds falling by the wayside and they this, like, and he can explain it to them that way.
Right. Right.
But for most people,
There you go. Right. And I think that's what we missing today. You know what I'm saying? If you dope, we know you dope. We know you can sling the words or whatever and put the words together and everything to tell a story, to go even deeper than that, to have me thinking, because what you just said is crazy. Because, so if I didn't know you, I'm thinking, you got me thinking. That's not happening today. Message! We're not thinking today. Music is like, oh, you shake your booty and stinky leg and this and that, and you had me like this was like a book. It was like an audio book that the beats was slamming, but I had, like back in the day, you don't know, you too young for this. Back in the day, Barry, when the MC was dope, what we do? Stop, rewind.
Yeah.
What the heck did he just say? What story is he talking about? This is crazy. Do you see what I'm listening to right now? So now I can visualize these songs, and they came, because I kept to it like, man, I don't know about this. And I kept listening to it like, it just went on me like, this is dope. What this dude is doing, like, this is dope. And then, like,
he was mad at first, like,
no,
what are you doing, Deacon?
No, because I still have my come alive. I can just put that, you know what I'm saying? But the charm, like, really, like, wait a minute, what is he talking about?
That took you for
I had to really put my listening ears on. I knew, like,
it was like
he's trying to
here, I'm
warn
gonna do
us.
a good spell. Good for who?
But this is he's trying to warn us, but he's not really telling us.
Right,
He's not
right.
telling us this is a warning. You know what I mean? Like a cautionary tale. So I get it. So Deacon D.A.S is in the building, man. We analyze the CD. What is your ultimate goal? What is your ultimate goal, young man?
It's to get this heard, man. It's not. It's to get it heard. And I think this and several other projects that I did, man, just need to be heard, man. People need to hear. People need the message, man. I think, like you said, a lot of these songs they have a surface level meaning, man, that I think people can grab practically, but it gets deeper, like where you can hear, you make you think about stuff,
Right.
Think about, analyze, man. Sometimes even think about your own self in that position or different things, man. You talk about right or wrong, like, man, like now I listen to this song, and I just from listening to the lyrics, man, if somebody brought up something to me, man, I could combat that with
Right.
like
Right.
I just learned how to answer or rebuttal an unbeliever because this verse you wrote, like,
Right. Man,
like something like
that's dope.
like, or I learned scripture, like it's stuff like in my lyrics, man. People like man, I didn't realize how much scripture is in there.
Yeah.
Like I don't come out and say Isaiah 22:5.
Yeah.
Like nah, it's just I just say the scripture. This is the scripture. Bam.
Yeah.
Bam. And it flow into the theme of what I'm doing.
Right.
So it's not like, so then you open your Bible and you reading it, you like, man, Deacon just plagiarized the Bible.
Right.
Like,
Right. So listen, so now like you at a point in your life, you don't write to be like, oh, I want them to get my punchlines and stuff like that. Because I listen to you like it's more about the story. You want people to really come a little deeper and get into to really put their ear to the ground of what you're doing.
yeah, to be honest, man, like that was always a part of hip hop that intrigued me the most, man. You always had your flashy, flamboyant artists and stuff like that. But man, when I was rapping, like rhyming and rhyme schemes, of course, but telling a story that can engage people, that's interesting, that has a meaning to it.
Right.
Like a meaning, it ain't gotta be always deep. It could be shallow, but having some kind of meaning, telling a story. Cats like Slick Rick, Nas, of course,
Those are the ones that
Nas,
last.
Eminem,
Yeah.
like, but doing that in a positive manner. Like a lot of times they're Eminem glorifying beating the mess out of his baby mama, Nas glorifying street life,
Right.
the struggles he had growing up in Queens, like, but having that skill displayed
Right.
in a positive manner, with like real tangible, like knowledge sense that you could grow from and learn from,
Right.
and be equipped from. So, like, I don't know.
And speaking of that, like Worlds Apart, like that was when I came into the concert 86 Club when you were doing your show for your birthday bash. And me and my brother-in-law always like every time you play Deacon D.A.S, this song is always on Worlds Apart, and that's like telling a story. You talk about your friend. That, you want to explain it a little bit?
Yeah, Worlds Apart. Man, it could classify as a lot of my friends, though. I think a lot of our friends, like when you're trying to do something right, and you can see like a friend who just, you see them making the wrong decisions, and you try to get through to them.
Right.
But it's like, man, they just don't see it like you see it.
Right.
Like for me, being a Christian, not being a Christian and getting saved and trying to evangelize or speak to family or friends, and they still in that life,
Right.
they don't see everything eye to eye with you. It's
Right.
like, man, you keep having pitfalls, man, you getting locked
Right.
up, you getting whatever, Cassie's getting shot up, Cassie's in this,
Yeah.
like all this negative stuff happening,
Yeah.
but you still keep bumping your head
Yeah.
against the wall.
Right.
And I'm like, man, it's better over here, man. But it ain't no fun. It ain't no this. It ain't
Right.
that. It's like, man, we just worlds apart. I love you. Like, I love you forever, man. But we ain't got nothing in common. Like, we ain't got, like, I'm trying to do right.
Right.
And you content in your mess. So it's like worlds apart. Like, I still love you. And then the third verse of that song kind of deals with me or Christians in relationship to God. Like, as much as we trying to get right, man, sometimes it feel like we never close enough to God. Like,
Right.
like, man, I'm so far. Like,
Right.
I'm far from where I was,
Yeah.
but I ain't nowhere close to
Where you want to go?
yeah, where I want to go. So then it's taking that and stop looking at other people.
Yeah.
Like, stop examining myself with other people who just can't get it right.
Right.
And just really see.
Because
my
that's
faults.
easy.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold up. Hey, I'm doing 1 + 1 = 2. I went to school.
Yeah.
But hey, that's not where I want to be.
Yeah, some trigonometry. Yeah.
Oh, don't talk about math. I black out.
See what I'm saying?
The
But
new
you-
math, I black out.
Hey,
But I
the new
took a
math-
lot of your words, man. You said like I speaking to the youth at my church, like, man, you so dope. Just listen to this. They be like. They could be like, you just quoting Deacon D.A.S. When you say like we face to face but can't see eye to eye, and then you would and I told you that
But-
I said I'm taking that. When you
But
say
we live it.
That-
But
right,
we live it.
right.
You know what I'm saying.
When you say that church hurts the worst because we should know better, but we ain't know better. I got so many hey man, so many.
Hey, but we're going to have get your shout outs and we're going to have to get out of here.
Deacon D.A.S, deacondas.com. You can follow me on that website. It connects to all my other social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr.
You know what that is? You don't know. He is the enemy of the state. He don't have a cell phone.
I've heard of all of them and not on any of them.
Parachute. DeaconD.A.S.com. They got the album review from Jam the Hype, one of the premier Christian hip hop sites. Reviewed the album. They gave it glowing reviews.
Wow.
Different interviews and different things like that. This interview will eventually be on there. You probably be watching it from there because I'm posted on there.
Yes, sir.
And then, yeah, man, shout out to L.I.F.E, the poet, and Barry, man, for bringing me out here.
Yes, sir, man. Yes,
the cameraman's working hard, man.
Silent
We
Dave.
appreciate you. We love you. Shout out to you for supporting. The album is available everywhere. Music could be downloaded, like iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon, and wherever you get your music from. Order the hard copies.
Or
on the
just be
website.
like me.
Yeah, just show up to Cincinnati.
You
man,
have to
find
get
me.
this. You have to feel it. You have to open it up and read it and go through it. So,
Any people, Shannon? Real quick. You want to thank anybody else besides
My
us?
wife, my
Thank you.
son, thank you, like, for being patient with me and allowing me to do this stuff, man. Sometimes it takes away from them and to minister and to be out there, but they love me, they support me, they got my back. Shout out to all the supporters throughout the years, my pastor, Pastor Chip Hall, my bishop, Bishop Presley Williams. Man, there's so many people, man. I started naming people. Like, why don't you give me a shout out, man?
Right.
Beyond Life, Affiliation Crew, the Kingdom Builders.
yeah.
Shout out to everybody.
Yeah.
Good Company.
Good company. D-Mob, man. You and K-Drama, and I always bump into K-Drama at Kroger. I'm putting you out there. Come
Shout out.
and do the show.
Shout out.
Come and do the show. And if our
He got
minds are
A
clear,
mad.
we gonna pray on it right now. Dear Heavenly Father, right now we thank you for this day. We will not take any day for granted because tomorrow is not promised to no one. So we thank you for your angels of laughter today. Lord, we ask you to enlarge our brother's territory. For everything he does, he will give you the glory. Uplift them physically, mentally, and spiritually. In Jesus' name, amen. Hallelujah.
Amen.
And we'll see you next time on Barry's Poetic Session. Peace.
And I'll be in the next video, hopefully.
No video for you.
Will I be in the video? Yes or no?
He can't
I don't know, man. I'm
Oh,
gonna put it out there. I'm gonna put it on
man.
your table, and if you show up,
Oh.
you're gonna be like, man, I gotta work that day. You work like 7 jobs, so I'm gonna say we shooting this day. You're gonna be like, nah, can y'all reschedule this? So I can be like, dude, your scene gonna be
Get my own scene. I can get me
3 seconds.
Come on my
a
job.
3-second cut, and you want us to reschedule the whole thing? You're gonna be in there 3 seconds.